And good Friday morning, everybody. TGIF, I'm Maria Bartiromo, and it is Friday, September 23rd. It is 7 a.m. on the East Coast. House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy headed to Pennsylvania this morning to unveil the GOP's Commitment to America plan as Republicans make their push to take back the House this November. The plan includes dozens of policy recommendations, including fighting inflation, energy independence, border security, and parental rights in the classroom. But President Biden is already slamming the plan, saying that it will remove the so-called Inflation Reduction Act and raise the cost of Social Security. This as the cost of all goods are up at 40-year highs right now. Joining the conversation all morning long is John Lonsky and Leo Kelly. John, your reaction to what we'll hear from the GOP today?
Well, I like what I hear. I like that list of goals that they have once they retake the House and perhaps the Senate. It's very important that the government get out of the way and allow the private sector to do what it does best, and that is promote economic growth, employment opportunities, and the like. We're suffering from government intervention on a scale that hasn't been seen in some time, and that helps to explain why inflation remains stubbornly high.
Yeah. Leo, is this important to markets? Tell me about your standpoint as an investor. Do you think the midterms represent a catalyst for the stock market?
Well, we've been saying now for at least 2 years that one of the biggest risks in the market is policy error by the Fed and fiscal policy error. The Fed is finally catching up, and what I find amazing is people think this is aggressive behavior. This is just catching up to neutral behavior, trying to chase inflation. And if we start to move towards this stagflation problem, this is going to get bad in a hurry. So we need smarter fiscal policy. You cannot spend your way out of inflation. We need to increase energy supply. We need to fix the problems with the supply chain. We have to stop spending, and we have to reduce the supply of money in the system. None of this is easy. It takes resolve. You have to come out of ideological thinking and start to understand the problem and face it down. That's leadership. That's what we need.
Yeah, but Leo, let me get your take on how to prepare yourself. There are a lot of dire predictions out there. What should we be thinking about in terms of getting ready for all these curveballs that are about to be thrown at us in terms of recession?
Well, in terms of markets and pricing and a recession, we do have to remember that the market is a forecasting tool, not a weighing machine. So what we have to do is we have to look at where we're headed. And so the market right now, we're seeing this constant pullback in the market. We're seeing stress. We're seeing increased volatility. That's talking to their belief we're already in a recession. And so there will be opportunities. You have to look. You have to be a contrarian now. It's time to be smart. It's time to be active. You can't go to sleep in a 60-40 portfolio. I say all the time, Warren Buffett became famous and made the most amount of money, his highest returns, in the 70s and 80s. When we had numerous recessions, we had high inflation, we had rising interest rates. You can make money. You just have to be smart, and you have to take advantage of dips. And simply, Marie, you can't put it on what's worked in the past. You have to look forward.
John, you're going to have some more talk from Jay Powell today. Lyle Brainerd, the vice chairman, also speaking out in D.C. today. And we'll get some economic data. We've got the PMI indexes coming out. That's the Purchasing Managers Index. There's a real window into manufacturing. What are you expecting? And do you think that manufacturing is going to continue to weaken?
Well, I think from Powell, you're going to get some more tough love. That is, he's going to warn of higher interest rates until inflation subsides sufficiently. As far as the PMI is concerned, yeah, I'd be looking for weakness in terms of manufacturing. You know, we're getting this already for the month of September from the regional surveys of manufacturing activity provided by district Federal Reserve banks. I want to hit on one point. Monetary policy is becoming very tight. They talk about the neutral rate for the federal funds rate. That's supposed to be 2.5 2.5%.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that we're going to have no growth year to year by fourth quarter real GDP, the Fed's telling us that the federal funds rate may end this year at 4.4%. That's well above 2.5. And I want to add, too, you know, that 10-year yield, 3.7, 3.8%. Earlier this month, the consensus was predicting a 10-year yield being no higher than 3.2%. That warns us that housing and other interest-sensitive sectors are going to be in deep trouble.
Yeah, and that's why this market has been selling off. We're at the lows of the morning right now. Meanwhile, there's 2024, Leo. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, the latest Democrat to dodge questions about whether or not Biden should run again in 2024. Listen to this.
President Biden is the president of the United States. He did a great service to our country. He defeated Donald Trump. Let's not forget that. If you care about the air we breathe, the water we drink, the education of our children, jobs for their families, pensions for their seniors, any subject you can name. I'm not going into politics about whether the president should run or not.
Nice little word salad there. Here's White House Chief of Staff Ron Klain when asked the same question.
That is definitely his intention. Obviously, something could happen today. He respects the fact that a lot of things can happen, but it is his intention to run, and I believe he will run.
Leo, your thoughts?
Well, I thought the line of the statement was that Nancy Pelosi's not going to be getting into politics. Of course, he's not going to run, but it can't be said. You cannot create a lame duck presidency this early in his presidency. So everyone knows he's not going to run. The Democrats know it. The Republicans know it. It just can't be stated. So they're going to dance around it.
That's it. All right. We're at the lows of the morning, gentlemen. The Dow Industrial's now down 371. We're going to take a break. When we come back, the federal